All right, what's going on, everybody? I'm Blitz5, and the footage in the background here is of my very first win in Paramo. So I figured this would be a good time to talk about my opinion of the map and my first impressions. If you're wondering what's up with this map and the new update that's coming into PUBG, I actually have a video going over all of the patch notes for update 9.1, which is going to be launching next week on PC and then on October 29th for console. And for people wondering how do you play this right now, it's only available on the PTS, but it will be coming soon for PC. And then console should be receiving a PTS soon, but there is no confirmed date yet for console. And this was live and this footage was recorded on October 14th. And I'm recording the audio portion of this a couple days later on October 17th. So been a couple days since I played this. It's been a busy week, and you can see right now I got the green screen going because I just moved, and you guys might hear a little bit of an echo going on because I'm still working on the stream room. And I also want to let you guys know one more thing before we get into this video, that there's a lot of kind of secrets and different aspects to Paramo than all of the other maps in the game. So if you guys want to see what it's like to walk through the lava or what's up with the secret hidden temple that's on this map, I have a video on my channel from some of the highlights from the stream where we went through and basically found all of the cool locations and interesting stuff that's going on with this map. So I'll link that down in the description box below and also in a card above. So what's going on here is I was really struggling to play this with mouse and keyboard. And for all people that aren't aware, when you play with a controller, it's actually double the amount of recoil on PC than it is on console. So it's actually very difficult to play with a controller, but I ended up plugging one in because playing with a mouse and keyboard is basically like another language for me. And at least once I plugged in the controller, I could get some kills, and you see me there hitting some grenades at least, even though I threw like 3 of them in that room. But before I really couldn't kill anybody. So at least once I switched to the controller, even though it's more difficult, I was able to get some kills, and it helped us at least get one chicken dinner. What was really cool about this is because Paramo right now is TPP squads only, I was actually getting queued up with random teammates, nobody really that I recognized. And then eventually I ran into Average Sniper in the same game as me, and he was kind enough to ask me to play with him and kind of check out the map, which was huge. And I had a ton of fun playing with him. I'm sure you guys are familiar with Average Sniper, but if you're not, he is a fellow YouTuber and streamer, very successful at that. Played PUBG, Call of Duty, Battlefield, and various other shooters and games. And, I became familiar with him through PUBG. So it was just a really cool opportunity to play with him. He's a very nice guy, and I really enjoyed the experience. So if you're not familiar with Average Sniper, definitely go check out his channel. And he actually made a great video sharing his thoughts on the game. And I found that I kind of felt the same. We were talking about it in game. We felt very similar about this game, even though he's kind of moved on from PUBG, but I'm still kind of die hard in PUBG. So if you guys don't know anything about the map, I should start off by saying that the game or the map is the second smallest in PUBG. It is 3x3 in size. So that is just smaller than Sanhok, which is 4x4, and then just a little bit bigger than Karkin, which is 2x2. And it definitely feels that way when you're playing it. Feels like in between Karkin and Sanhok, the circle is set to move a little bit slower. So that kind of changes the dynamic of the game because it almost feels like, it looks like you're playing Karkin, but kind of skinned like Erangel. But the game goes a lot slower. So it's kind of got this weird feel where you're close to a lot of people, but the game doesn't really push you too fast to move around. So it's got a little bit of that for everything. And I really feel like the kind of map design is like that. But I want to mention one thing while I'm in this compound is that I really felt like even though this map is situated in South America and most likely Peru from all the information, it kind of looks like you're playing in France, like World War II France. At least I had that vibe. And I shared that with Average Sniper, and he agreed. Because some of the compounds have like a lot of the stone on the outside. It's got the old village look. And you can see in this clip, there's like the farm down there. There's some areas that look like they've been blown out because it's where the lava is and it's like smoking. And it just really gave off that really familiar vibe of playing a game like Call of Duty World War II or some of the older Call of Duty games, which I really liked. And I was saying before that the map kind of looks like Karkin. And I was joking that the map kind of seems like it's taken the best aspects of all the maps, or a little bit from all the maps, maybe not the best depending on what you're into. But the elevation of this map is kind of like Karkin. The size is sort of like Sanhok in a way. And then you have, it's skinned sort of like Erangel. And then there's a lot of this great hill fighting, sort of like Miramar, where there's a lot of the great small hills that you're fighting over and terrain. So to me, it's got a little bit of everything. And even though I think the map is incredible, it looks great. I mean, look right now, the graphics look awesome on PC. The grass, all the colors, everything looks really vibrant, but not too bright. It looks like they just mastered all of this stuff. I will say that I was a little underwhelmed by the map and some of the stuff that was being promoted for the map. So this is PUBG's first dynamic map in the game, where some of the compounds are changing every time you drop. So the big cities will change their location. Some of the other small compounds do as well. I couldn't really track which ones were changing other than the big cities. So to me, that was a little underwhelming. I thought there was going to be more, stuff with the lava flow and stuff like that. But I get that's obviously a very difficult thing to do. It's not very easy to just have these big dynamic events happening. But for some reason, I just thought it was going to be a little bit more. And I think Average kind of shared the same sentiment that we were looking for maybe a little bit more in terms of it being dynamic. But obviously, I don't want to speak for him. But overall, the way that the map played was really, really great. And you can tell that PUBG put a lot of time into designing the map because there's so many great spots. And one of the analogies or one of the things I want to bring up is kind of like when you're in a compound on Erangel, there's some compounds where they're in the middle of nowhere and there's a small compounds called like the Alamo. And if you know what I'm talking about, and once you're there, there's really no cover to get to those buildings. So if the circle shifts to you, if a car has to drive your way, you can easily see them and take shots on them. Or if a team doesn't have a vehicle, they're pretty much screwed because you got a wall around this tiny compound. There's only a few skinny trees. There's really no other cover for a team to approach you. And on the newer maps, and especially this one, it seems like PUBG has gone in and really focused on how to kind of secure a compound, but then also make ways for the attacking team to like make it towards the compound with different terrain elevations, perfectly or more thoughtfully placed, I shouldn't say perfectly, more thoughtfully placed cover. And that kind of stuff is really huge in terms of balancing out gameplay design and the gameplay experience. So I thought that was pretty cool from PUBG that you can tell they're getting better at making maps. I even felt this way when they dropped Vikendi. You could just see the difference in how intricate that map was versus, say, Erangel, which is the first map for them. So overall, I would definitely say that this map is one of the best designed maps. And I saw a lot of people saying that this was their favorite map since Erangel. And I don't know if I'm going to go as far to say that, because I don't know if it's my favorite. I still really like Vikendi, Sanhok, and Karkin, but this one is definitely really cool. But we were just a little underwhelmed by what was advertised with the map being kind of dynamic. But all in all, it's a really great map. And I suppose I should talk a little bit about the gameplay here. Kind of got stuck at this blown out structure. There was two enemies here. I got the one guy with the lucky headshot, and then eventually took out this guy because he got stuck up against the blue with the AK. Like I was mentioning before, playing with a controller on PC is definitely not recommended. The recoil is double, and the AK and all the 7.62 guns really make that even more apparent. So I was trying to take out this guy on the left here, but I was definitely having a hard time doing it, and my team here to the left was kind of flanking around. So we're 3v2. We're in a good situation. We'd only made it to second place a couple times, or, I should say to the top 5 or top 10 a couple times. So we really felt like the win was coming here. I couldn't find where this guy went, if he went right or left. Trying to look out for him. And I think Average is about to step up here and get some nice shots with the Vector. So we'll see how this kind of comes to an end. No really luck with the Mini on here, even though I thought that would be easier to use, kind of single fire with the controller. But Average Sniper wraps it up with the Vector there. What's actually crazy is I ran into one of those guys. Mr. Headglitch is someone that I know from playing and streaming on PUBG console, and he recently moved over to PC. So what are the odds? Playing with Average Sniper, running into Mr. Headglitch in my very first winner chicken dinner, and kind of crazy. So one last thing I want to say is that, because I didn't really mention this in the video, but I think you guys got it, that this map is really realistic, and I think that's awesome. And even the helicopter flying in sounds great. So many experiences with this map, to me, make the game feel like more immersed in the game, or it makes the player, the person, feel more immersed. And I think that's really awesome. And major kudos to PUBG for developing this. We'll see what the future of this map is, because right now it's Season 9 exclusive only, but I really feel like that's going to change, but we'll have to wait and see. And I definitely want to hear what you guys think of this gameplay. Sorry for the lower quality of this with the audio. Hopefully everything will be fixed, and I'll be back to regular stream and recording quality very soon. And if you made it this far, I really, really appreciate it. Definitely look forward to reading your comments down below. As always, thank you all for watching. I'm Blitz5, and peace out.